Hi everyone, my name's Emma. Welcome back to the Champions of Wonder podcast. Today we are talking about transmedia storytelling. How do we understand it in our own lives, and what is it going to mean within this realm of NFTs? When it comes to choices and decisions, the ones that we make with more intention, by understanding the consequences of those decisions, we will help create a better world for ourselves and the rest of the planet. Transmedia storytelling is best explained by talking about the different ways that we already understand it. If you love Harry Potter or Star Wars or Marvel or Disney or Pokemon, you understand what transmedia storytelling is. All of these different universes exist through various media forms, whether it be books or movies, or comic books, recipes, cosplay, Universal Studios, various functions where you can come and meet together. All of these exist in a form where the audience gets to interact with the storyline, and not only interact with it, but continue to move it forward. And that really is what transmedia storytelling is. It's not just telling the same story through different media, but that every single piece of media contributes to the storyline in a different way, and in and of itself creates a new story as part of the original story. And because we get to, as an audience, contribute to that story, we become part of the story itself. And therefore, the universe continues to expand, continues to grow, and we get to grow with it. And the reason so many people love Harry Potter or Marvel or Star Wars or Star Trek is because of the character development that exists not only within the characters themselves, but within our own lives. We get to grow with Harry. Though we may not have necessarily gotten an acceptance letter to Hogwarts, we get to go to Hogwarts when we go to Universal. We get to go to Hogsmeade. We get to go to Diagon Alley. We get to be part of the storyline in our own way, and we get to learn certain values through watching Harry Potter or Marvel or Star Wars. Values about life, lessons about life, and we get to become friends with those characters in our own ways. And we get to contribute to that story and get to have that story contribute to our own story as a human being. And the world of NFTs is going to be built off of this idea of transmedia storytelling. The movie Ready Player One really brings these different concepts into one. Ready Player One is based in 2045, where everybody's obsessed with virtual reality. Everyone is constantly playing, and they exist in a world called the Oasis. You get to meet different people, and you get to buy different skins that you wear, different outfits for your avatar, the character that you are in the Oasis. And because of that, you get to buy and you get to interact with people, you get to buy brand new stuff for your character. You get to live in a world that is sometimes more interesting than your own. And what the movie did a great job at doing was showing how the real world, virtual reality, and all of this is really going to shift our view. And we have already changed our expectations and view of technology very quickly. After Game of Thrones came out, the expectation of a show increased drastically. The shows that were very popular 15 years ago, like Friends or Full House, would probably not be successful today because of the standards that we have for shows. After Game of Thrones having over $10 million budgets per episode, there became very quickly a new standard that had to be achieved if a show was going to be successful. And because of that increase of value, whether it was in character development, in set production, in production value in and of itself, we have changed how we view technology and the importance and value of it in our lives. And that is only going to continue to increase. We are going to continue to expect more and more of technology, and NFTs are providing an area where that is just going to be more easily accessible to the general population. And we said that transmedia storytelling is really important because the audience gets to contribute to the story. And if NFTs provide the artist with the rights to create their own art and to own it, we will be able to see so many more people get to contribute in a way that adds value at an exponential rate. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and these are little pieces of artwork, digital art, that are going to continue to grow. Currently, it's little videos or digital pictures, but it is going to extend to include books and movies and shows under NFT protection. And as it grows, NFTs will replace Netflix, just as Netflix replaced Blockbuster. NFTs will allow the original artists to be the sole owners of that artwork, and they get to decide who gets to buy copies or who gets to buy the original contract, which is very different because now people who want to produce and publish, they have to go to recording companies or publishing companies to release their album or their book. Very few people have the ability to create their own album, to sell their own album without the help of a marketing team. The same goes for books, but we're starting to see a change in that as well as ebooks become more accessible and how music can be created on our own computers at home. We're going to continue to see this shift as we expect our ability to create this type of art in our own homes increases. We could not produce videos at the level that we do today in our own homes 20 years ago. We just could not have access to that type of technology. It was restricted to the movies that had huge budgets. And those companies are now being forced to have even bigger budgets, even bigger production value if they want to hold the attention of vast audiences. And we can thank Game of Thrones for that, for upping the ante. Netflix has had amazing shows come out since then, but it was because Game of Thrones raised that bar so high. And how can we use transmedia storytelling in our own lives? When we look at our own lives, every single person in our life adds value to our story. And if they're not, we get to choose if they continue to be part of our story. So transmedia is something that exists in various contexts, and if we were to truly bring it into our own lives, we would understand the importance and the value that every single thing that we do adds to this world. And if it doesn't, we need to be rethinking it. Because as our expectations of value in shows and movies increases, that expectation of value will increase in every aspect of our lives. We won't just have high standards for the shows and movies we watch, but for the clothes that are being produced, for the food that is being produced, for our entire lives, we're going to expect value with everything that we do. We want a high return on value. But for so long, it's been a quick return on investment of instant gratification. But we are slowly becoming aware and more interested in delayed gratification, where we put in the work now and later we get to reap those benefits. And social media exists all around us, and for quite some time it's been used in a more negative way than a positive way for most of us, but we also are starting to see a shift in that. Many people are more interested in the social context of certain aspects that are happening in society. We are interested in what's going on. We have been shocked by so many different things that we are finally starting to realize what the real world looks like. And transmedia storytelling has showed us that the things that we value are usually the most basic human values. We love getting to watch Harry Potter and be part of the storyline because we identify with the characters in some way, shape, or form. We understand values of humility, of bravery, of courage, and we can see that through Marvel and the characters that they create. There's a human value that we connect to. There's a human experience that we can embody in our own lives and in our own ways. We may not be able to fly or have magic wands, but at the core of it, what Harry provides, what Thor provides, is very much a realistic understanding that we are human at the core of everything, and we need to be seeking connection to humans in a way that is productive for both parties over and over again. We need to be adding value that actually creates a difference in both of our lives. Because the more value we add to others is the more value we get to ourselves. And that is the most important thing that we need to understand and accept into our lives. So, transmedia storytelling is going to be the way that NFTs continue to expand. NFTs will have a digital portion and a physical aspect, just as we can watch Harry Potter through the movies, but we can also experience Harry Potter through Universal Studios and through buying cloaks and wands. And we can experience Marvel in similar ways. We can go to Universal Studios, we can buy the capes, we can go to Comic-Con, we can enjoy the characters as becoming one of those characters ourselves. And that is really the most important aspect of everything that we are going to be doing in the world. And Ready Player One did a fantastic job at showing us that skins, that value that exists in the digital world, is not going to be abstract anymore. The value that we find in dressing our characters, our avatars up when we play a video game is not just going to be an abstract idea that is left for teenagers who enjoy video games. It's going to be something that is very much a big part of our lives and contributes in the most authentic way and shows us who we really are. And in Ready Player One, the bad guys were overthrown because the vast majority came together and understood the value of uplifting one another and standing together. And that was how the game maker designed it. And at the end, the most important message was understanding that reality is the only place that human connection can exist, that we need to be reaching out to friends, to family, to people all around us, that the stories in these movies and in these universes are wonderful and amazing, but what they teach us is something that we have to take a step back and bring into our own lives and create value in our lives and those around us in that way by bringing those human values back and sharing them with others. If you are troubled in finding what you feel your purpose is, go into the different worlds and universes that you may love and be very interested in, and figure out the different values that you are getting from them. Why is it that you adore Harry Potter or Marvel or Star Wars, or if it's fashion or sports or Formula One or almost anything else that you could be interested in? Figure out why you're interested in it. We all have some kind of interest. It could be video games, it could be sports, it could be reading, it could be writing, it could be many different things, and oftentimes it's more than just one. So go and explore them a little bit. Understand what parts of it is it that interest you when you're watching a movie. Are you interested in the plot development, the character development, the creation of the story, the script writing? What is it that interests you? And continue to dig into it a little bit deeper every single time you watch or you're interested in learning about it a little bit more. There's lessons that exist all around the world, and there is contributions that we can take from all of these different pieces of entertainment that'll tell us who we are a little bit more. The things that we are attracted to, the things that we are interested in, there's a deeper meaning why we're interested in it. And if we just go and look at the things that we already like and look at why is it that I like this, we can learn quite a bit more about ourselves if we just go a little bit deeper under the surface. Transmedia storytelling is going to continue to grow and add value to our lives. NFTs are going to be that platform. Whether you understand either of these concepts that well, or if this was just something that was interesting to listen to, really dig deep into the things that you like and why you like them. You'll learn a lot more about yourself and the world that you live in. And that's really the point of living, isn't it? As long as we continue to wonder, to explore, to have this view of the world that there's so much out there that we can learn as long as we continue to have this childlike wonder, to be champions of wonder. We can become present in our lives and understand why it is that we like what we like, and in that find the purpose that we have been brought into this world with. I hope that you got something out of today's podcast. We are going to be going into quite a bit more next time into how can we learn lessons from childhood that we have been exposed to, that we learned when we were younger but have probably forgotten by now. There's many of those, and there's many more lessons that exist all around us that we can really dig into and find value in them. Continue to be a champion of wonder, continue to move through the world, excited to learn about it, and excited to see what you can learn about yourself in the process. I hope you tune in next time, but until then, I hope that you have an amazing day.